can see me and what I'm doing. Ooh, this forehead though. Child, listen. It just is what it is. Let me wash my hands real quick. Okay. So, I'm making lasagna. And I'm not making it totally from scratch because I have these little noodles. And believe it or not, these little oven, what did I say, oven ready? It actually works. And so I'm with it. So first you start with, obviously, you're going to, is my voice so dry? I don't know. But anyways, so I make my lasagna with ground beef and Italian sausage. You can get mild or a little bit spicy if you about that life. But I'm not about that life. Yeah, I burnt myself making empanadas. Y'all see that? Yeah. So then after you cook it with the onions and the bell peppers, whatever it is you're gonna use, whatever veggies you're gonna use to like flavor your meat, go ahead and put all of that in there. I use garlic, onion powder, garlic powder. I use Italian seasoning, pepper, salt, on and on and on. You also are gonna want some ricotta cheese. This is like a creamier, that kind of a creamy cheese. And that's kind of, some people like mix it with an egg, and it helps bind the lasagna together. So you always want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And I'm going to see if I can successfully make this lasagna without over cheesing it. Because me and the cheese, we have a long history. I always over cheese it, and I'd be like, damn it, I said I wasn't going to do that. And I do it anyway. So anyways, so you start with the, you put a little bit of the sauce that you made, the sauce with the ground beef at the bottom. I also add a little bit of cheese to the beef at the bottom. So you just take these and you're gonna line them up. You don't have to wet them or anything like that. Listen, I'm barefoot Contessa, okay? That's who I am. I need a spoon. I guess this will do. It's spoonish. We're gonna put a little bit of this ricotta cheese on here and spread it around. It's kind of like a creamy cheese. And just, to your discretion, to your liking. Like I said, I usually, unfortunately, I will over cheese whatever it is I'm making. If I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich, you can expect that it's going to be over cheesed. It's who I am. Making nachos. Well, nachos is kind of cheese, period. It's like cheese with meat in it. Just saying. Y'all believe Donald Trump is a president again? I can. I knew it was gonna happen. That's why I didn't pay attention to the election this year. I was just like, I ain't got time. I don't have time to be dealing with the malarkey of the people in this society who just could give zero about everybody else. Just my opinion. So now I'm gonna add some more of the meat. And you're just gonna put it like sporadically throughout your lasagna. This is your meat sauce. You could do this with like cheese. I'm sorry, not cheese, with like vegetables and cheese. If like you're a vegetarian or something like that, you could certainly make this vegetarian. You could put, it would be difficult. Well, you could make it vegan too. I'm pretty good at making most vegan meals because my husband's, he's a fake vegan. That's what I call him, a fake vegan. We watched this movie or documentary called What the Health. like some years ago. And I remember my husband, he hates documentaries because once you know, you can't say you don't. So he doesn't like that because it's like, damn it, you know. But anyways, I watch documentaries because I like to be informed, even though I know, the documentaries are slanted in whoever is making the documentaries favor. Now I'm gonna add some. This is cheddar jack cheese. I try to use a mix of cheeses, so I have cheddar jack cheese, and like I said, I'm gonna try not to over cheese this. I'm really not successful at not over cheesing things. It's just it's who I am. And I've tried, and I continue to fail. So cheese to your heart's desire. This is just some queso cheese. And queso cheese, I think that's their way of saying like Mexican cheese. Because queso means cheese. So like, why would you need to say that? I don't know. But I'm gonna add some mozzarella. See, it's already doing the most. It's already almost full. Child, listen, I might have to make a second lasagna. See? Okay, so now we're gonna put some more of these sheets on here. And like I said, these sheets, you don't have to do anything to them. You just pop them in the oven. That's all you gotta do. Pop them in the oven, child. And then I think I'm gonna put some more meat sauce. And then I'll put the ricotta. And the good thing about lasagna, meat sauce, you could actually take the meat sauce if like you're like me and you made too much, and honestly, just make spaghetti if that's what you want to do. You could also make a chicken veggie, like if you don't eat red beef or red meat, and you don't like pork, because you saw that science experiment where they put the Coca-Cola on the on the what was it, on bacon or something. That's the type of documentary I don't need to see, because I don't need to not eat bacon. I mean, listen, the smell wakes everybody up in the whole house. You can't even sleep. It's like, what? Bacon is being fried somewhere, child. Listen. So anyway, some people don't eat pork. So if you're gonna make lasagna, I say if you're making lasagna and you want to use chicken, the ingredients that I would put is I would use the chicken. I would use like the 4-cheese Alfredo sauce. Unless you want to make your own cream sauce, you can do that too. So I would get some 4-cheese Alfredo sauce, because that's going to give it that cheesy, festive taste. And then I would use chicken. Oh, but see, this is where it would go off the rails, because I would fry bacon and cut up. Because listen, chicken and bacon and noodles and sauce, they all go together well. They play together real, real well. But if you didn't want to, you can, you don't have to add the bacon. But it just gives it another depth of flavor. And then I would use white cheese. So, like, okay, so let's just start here. Velveeta is not cheese. It is not. It's a cheese product, but it isn't cheese. But listen, that commercial got me. It says Velveeta makes versus shut up. Velveeta makes much better. It does. It does. So I would probably get the white, like, block of non-cheese Velveeta, but the white one, the Blanco one. And that's what I would use. And then you could also put like spinach, and like I said, you can kind of do what you want to do with it. If you're vegetarian, they have very different types of non-meat that you can put in there. And I forget which one is my favorite. I think it's the impossible meat, the impossible beef. It literally, I've made enchiladas and all kinds of stuff, and people think it's real meat. And then after they taste it and say it's good, then I tell them it's vegan, and they're like, what? Yeah. The thing about being vegan, here's my beef with the vegan, and I used to be vegan, is that the fact that you have to process whatever it is so much to where it's like, well, you just might as well just eat the regular food. Like, what are you doing with the I can't believe it's not butter? I don't know where y'all came from, but where I came from, we butter things. Butter is natural. Well, it's not natural for humans to have. Let me stop with that lie. But if I'm going to make a pound cake needs a pound of butter. So stop with the malarkey and all the other stuff. I can't. I'm not with it. This is the ricotta cheese again. So I'm just going to spread this. this little layer. I don't know. I hope we can get one more layer. You know, this spreading of this is a lot easier if you have a, like an offset baking. You know how when you're gonna spread icing, they have like those offset knives. That is perfect for this. But like I told y'all, I'm not at my house because I almost burnt my whole kitchen down, and so therefore I'm here with the Airbnb people's stuff, and it's not what I would use, but you know, we figuring it out over here on Chanel's Reality. One thing we are over here is reliable. We will figure some shit out, okay? Kind of like Black Twitter. Don't do nothing to terrorize the good black people, child. They will be on you, okay? All right. Trying to make sure it's spread good. Okay. So then now I'm going to add, I think I can get one more layer. I hope I can get one more layer of these little no bake. What are these things called? They're supposed to be, typically I would say I don't trust certain stuff like this, but I actually have used it and it does work. So this time I'm gonna put some cheese, some more of this gay salt cheese on here. See how it's already getting over cheese? It's not my fault. It's not. It's not my fault. But lasagna is always, I feel like one of those, if you broke, listen, if you broke, my goddaughter asked me this a few years ago when she moved out on her own. She was like, Coco, what do I make? How do I shop? I had to show her how to shop, even though I've been showing her how to shop since she was 10. But anyway, she's like, I don't know what to buy. Plus, she was pregnant. Child. And she didn't really know. So I'm like, listen, if you broke and pregnant, which her and her boyfriend were at the time, they was thugging it out together, okay? Living in their car, they was doing the most. But I didn't know that. So, of course, I'm not going to let her live in her car. But, yeah, they were thugging it out. And so when they got their own apartment and everything, I was like, I'm so proud of y'all. Go to school, do your thing. Y'all can make it, you know. Just because life deals you a bad hand or you have a really bad chapter doesn't mean that it's over for you. Just learn from it, grow from it, whatever it might be. And sometimes you're not ready to grow from it. You know? Sometimes God needs you to listen. Like, I was talking to this lady about what happened in my house fire last week, and she was saying, because I fell asleep because I had taken some sleeping medicine because I had been sick, and so my illness, well, I won't say my illness gave it to me, but taking a lot of medications, in my opinion, is what contributed to my insomnia. But you're taking the medications because the doctors tell you that's what you need to do, right? So anyways, long story short, I end up taking some Ambien. I had turned on the stove because I was going to make some French fries. So I came back in the house. I took that Ambien, came back in the house from walking my dog, and went directly to sleep. And I bring that up to just say that, like, God woke me up, and I've been saying that ever since it happened. But I think what the lady said gave me the chills the other day because she was like, because I told her, I said, I feel like God woke me up. And she was like, yeah. And the reason that God allows you to take that Ambien, because with the Ambien, you could be really incoherent. Like, my husband said I was on all kinds of crazy shit. Like, I was looking for Fruit Loops with marshmallows under the bed off of half an Ambien. Like, listen, I was tweaking out. Walking around the house. Like, I remember he told me I had like one of those big cake bowls that you use at like Thanksgiving and filled it with water and just walking through the living room naked, just the most, okay? Have no recollection of this. So be careful. One lady I heard, she said that she went and she bought a whole ass car on Ambien because it to me is sleepwalking. That's what I call it. It's sleepwalking. That's why they tell you don't do anything when you're taking certain medications, because I certainly was sleepwalking. I had put like I put a spoon in the toaster. I literally washed my dog. Like, you know how you have your shampoo? And I was trying to figure out, so like, this is the container, right, that had the soap in it. So this was like basically full because I had filled it up like the day before or something. And then whenever I woke up the next day, I was like, what happened to all the soap? And when I was out of it, my husband was like, did you Do you remember watching Bentley bathing him? And I was like, yeah. But I didn't remember doing that. My husband was like, you had him literally, you poured the whole thing of soap on him. But he was upstairs, so when he came down, that's when he saw it. But anyways, so yeah, you can do all kinds of crazy while you're on Ambien, so be careful. So now, me and Ambien, we don't do anything anymore. We don't hang out. Because honestly, I could have, if I'm being honest, I should have died. 100%. If half of Ambien had me out for 2 hours, for 10 hours, 2 Ambien, I should have been out of there. But God, listen, he woke me up. That lady was like, that was God's voice telling you. She was like, the reason you took the Ambien, you may look at it differently, but the reason you took the Ambien is because God wanted to quiet your mind so you could hear him. I was like, woo, woo, this child say it ain't so, honey. Child, that moved me. I was like, oh, okay, sis. Because I didn't think about it that way. And then, like, literally, 3 days before the fire, because my husband, he was in Manila, so he was on the other side of the world. He was in the Philippines. And when this happened, but 3 days before this, I had gone to Home Depot. Because, you know, like when you say, oh, I'm going to do a home project, just understand you're going to go back to Home Depot 362 times before you finish your project. I'm just saying. And I remember standing in the line. I don't know if I was like returning something. I don't know what was going on. But I remember standing there and thinking to myself, I was looking at, they had a pallet of, next to the door when you walk out or come in, they had a pallet of fire extinguishers. 3 days before my house caught on fire, my kitchen caught on fire. And I remember standing there thinking, maybe I should buy a new fire extinguisher. Now I already have 2 at home. But, you know, you have to tweak them. You have to upgrade them and do all this different stuff, right? And something, I felt like that was a nudge. It was a nudge from God saying, it's like a whisper. Like, you should probably go get a fire extinguisher. And then 3 days later, my house caught on fire. And I have 2 fire extinguishers, but listen, I was in panic mode. I did everything wrong. I ran towards the fire. I poured water on the fire. I know that, see, this cheese is getting out of hand already. Y'all see it? Y'all see how it's getting out of hand? But I just feel like all the corners need the cheese. Child. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so this is my lasagna. I already have my oven at 400. And I'm going to bake it. I would say it depends on how much meat or whatever, how big your portion is that you made for yourself or your family. That's really going to determine how long you're going to cook it. But I say on average, I would cook mine for about 35 minutes on 400 or maybe 350. I think I'm going to cook it on 400 because my stuff is pretty much done. And so we just going to hope for the best. So I will be back and show y'all what this looks like when I am done. But thank you guys. Please hit that like button, like and subscribe button. And I will see y'all later. Bye.